I'm SoCheung. I'm 33 years old, and I've been married a year and a half, and I am 8 months pregnant. And I play a mean game of tennis. I love playing tennis while I'm pregnant. It's the only time that I feel like I'm not as pregnant. I had to give up running because there was just too much pressure on my bladder. But at least with tennis, if you don't want to run, you don't have to. But you're so focused on getting that ball that you forget about the pressure on your bladder and any other discomfort you might feel. We just played an hour of tennis, so I'm a little tired, definitely warm and sweaty, but nothing that a cold shower and a hot meal can't fix. I think I'll sleep well tonight.
My name is Anabelle Filbert. I am 32 years old. I am 5.5 months pregnant. I have a 20-month-old daughter, and I teach a 45-minute spinning class. A lot of women think that the 9 months is a time to relax and eat and enjoy the pregnancy and not worry so much about the weight. I'm not saying that I haven't enjoyed this. I love being pregnant and eating, but I also have made exercise a part of my life for so long that I think it would affect me mentally every day not to be able to exercise. I think that exercising every day is part of my day, and it makes me feel more energized, and it makes me feel like that I have some control over my body. So I tend to enjoy doing it, and I wouldn't want to not do it during my pregnancy. Well, I just finished teaching my 45-minute spin class, and compared to before pregnancy, I feel a little bit more tired and short of breath. Because it does take more energy to spin and to give direction and be speaking throughout the 45 minutes. But I feel energized and I feel good. So it's a good way to start the day.
My name is Ricia. I am 32 years old, and I will be 8 months pregnant next weekend. I'm due January 13th. I've been practicing yoga throughout my pregnancy. I probably started around 3 months into my pregnancy. I've practiced yoga on and off for the last 6 or 7 years, but had taken a lot of time off, and I'm really happy to come back to it, especially at this moment in my life. My motivation for exercise during pregnancy is much like my motivation before pregnancy. I just really feel great when I exercise, much better than I do when I'm walking or sitting at a desk. And so, during my pregnancy, I've just really felt a lot better. I feel a lot freer. I feel lighter when I exercise, and so it's been really great. It's a great adrenaline rush. The endorphins get released, and I just feel a lot better when I'm working out. My mood is greatly increased when I work out.
Race fans, our first finisher is about a half a mile out. A reminder that our course record is 30:06. So 9:53. Congratulations. Well, look at these happy runners. Michelle Morris, Kimberly Gale. Man, he's proud. He's proud. Give us a big smile for the right room people to see it.
If I saw someone running this race in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy, I would be a little shocked. It's not something I would typically see.
I'd be very impressed because she probably finished ahead of me. I'm not exactly sure in terms of how far along into pregnancy, what's safe, what isn't safe.
Absolutely would amaze me. I think that's... had you been a runner all the time, for a while before, if you're comfortable with it, fine. I wouldn't have been.
Yeah. If I saw somebody out there in that race today, 9 months pregnant running, I'd be a little surprised, and it's hard not to think it's probably not a great idea if at that point when, you know, possibly your water could break or you're right near delivery. It just makes sense to
You wouldn't have wanted your child to be over the finish line before you
yeah.
were.
I'm an aerobics instructor, and I have been for about 7 years now. During my pregnancy, I have continued to work out about 5 to 6 days a week. I continue to teach classes, mostly high impact, kickboxing, step aerobics. I also teach weightlifting classes. And generally speaking, I've kept up the same activity level in those classes. I have had to do some modifications. You know, you can't lay on your back too long, things like that. But mostly, I'm still doing push-ups and sit-ups and lifting the same amount of weight that I did before. One of the things that I did drop is I no longer run 3 miles as my warm-up. I do still run, but just not on the same days that I teach classes. When I'm at the gym, and a lot of times I get some really great reactions from people, men and women alike. They, you know, will come up and say, "Oh, that's really wonderful. You're still so strong. It's really great to see that." Sometimes others will come up and say, "What are you doing?" They almost look at you like you're committing some kind of crime against your unborn child because you're still working out. But you get the range of comments coming your way. But mostly people have been really supportive, which is great. And, you know, a lot of people acknowledge that times have really changed, and what advice people were giving even 5 years ago in the medical community has really changed a lot recently.
My friends and family, they're not as shocked by it as strangers. My friends and family and my coworkers have known me for a long time, and they know that I enjoy exercising, which is something that maybe a lot of people don't enjoy doing, but I do. So they're not as shocked by it, but strangers are a little bit like, "Really? You're teaching a spinning class?" And I have to explain to them that, you know, sometimes I feel like I need to explain to them that I'm a guide for the spinning class, and they can do an increase and decrease the intensity as they want, and I can sit down, and it's basically a stationary bike. So I'm able to rest when I need to and lower my resistance. So it's really not a class where where I have to maintain the intensity because I'm merely a guide. So I have to explain to them that it's really not harmful to my baby to teach this class. The class, I think, finds it funny that I'm pregnant and I'm teaching them, and they get a kick out of it. I tend to push them like, "I'm a pregnant woman, I can do this, so can you." If I'm riding at a higher intensity than they are, or if I'm pushing myself a little bit harder than they think they are, I think that they tend to want to at least get to the intensity that I'm at and push themselves a little bit harder. So I think that in that aspect, it's good that I'm pregnant, and I think it pushes them a little bit more.
My name is Suzanne Bathgates. I am an obstetrician gynecologist who practices maternal fetal medicine here at George Washington University. Over the past nearly 20 years, I've delivered several thousand babies. I have interest particularly in obstetric complications and medical complications of pregnancy, and I'm interested in exercise in pregnancy. Planning for pregnancy and the postpartum are all a continuum of health. And so exercise before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and as soon as possible after pregnancy would all be part of staying healthy. I think that pregnancy is a time that some women pay particular attention to their lifestyle and to their health. And I think it's important that we encourage women to try to do things that are healthy, like staying active and exercising.